Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Kishwar Zubair and I bought more books. But in my defense, I blame these online and offline book fairs who provide books at throwaway prices and I just can't resist. Also, a drawback that these book fairs have is that they don't have all the books, or they seldom have all the books that you want or need, particularly if those books are part of series. As you can see behind me, I have so many book series, but only one or two of these are complete. Most of these series are incomplete and there is one or two books missing from this series, and I can't read them until I have all the books. So that's the excuse I have to buy more books, but I know these are all just excuses and I really have to do something. So to amend what I did, I've decided to unhaul a few books. As you can see here, I have taken out around 50 plus books that I'm planning to give away or sell. I'm actually planning to sell them because I need money so that I can buy new books, so that I can make space in my shelf and mind. I've read and reread a few of these books and have no intention to read them again. A few books I tried to read, but they just didn't work for me. I DNF'd them, although the cover said they were bestsellers, but they were not for me. Also, I have some books in this stack that I will probably read before getting rid of them, and then there are some books that will be nice. I mean, I want to read them, it's just they are not on top of my TBR pile, or they are not my priority right now. I will read them, and whenever I'll feel like reading them, I'll repurchase them. There's no way to keep them in my shelf for some day, so that's why I am unhauling all of these books. So without any further ado, let's get into the video and let's see all the books that I am getting rid of. So let's start from here. Here I have a few books that I got from the book fair. I actually took them as a filler. I mean, there are always space left in the book boxes, and you just stuff books to fully pack the box. I don't know, it's a stupid thing to do, but I got some really cute books. I actually read these books, but they are children's books. They are for kids, so I'm thinking to give them to my niece and nephews. So the very first one is My Dad's Got an Alligator. Then we have Amber the Orange Fairy and Saffron the Yellow Fairy. It's the Rainbow Magic book series. These are from the Rainbow Magic book series. Then I have these 4 books that I got from my school. I actually read them, I tried to implement them. These books are for students. 3 of these are from Dr. Vijay Agrawal. The first one is Padho to Aise Padho. Then it's Student or Time Management, Student or Man Ki Shakti. Then there is Student and Shistachar by Gautam Masania. I've actually read all 4 of these books and I used to like them. I tried to implement the study tips and stuffs like that in my real life, but as usual, I didn't stick for too long. Then there is another book for students, which is 13 Steps to Bloody Good Marks by Ashwin Sanghi and Ashok Rajani. I got this book when I was in school as well. And this book has the same advice that these 3 books have. I mean, almost, not exactly. So yeah, it was a good book. It was okay for school students. It's just that I don't need it anymore. Then a book that I bought because YouTubers were recommending me this book back then, and it was a good book. It's The Peacock Feather by Sunil Kapoor and Sudhir Kapoor. It's a collection of short stories and I like them. I've read this book twice. It's just that I don't think I'll be reading it again. So, and then we have Just William by Richmal Crompton. It's again a collection of short stories about this boy William, and it was a good book. I mean, they are light read, but I don't think I'll be rereading it. Then there is Women Who Don't Wait in Line, Break the Mold, Lead the Way by Reshma Sojani. It's a self-help book. It's more like a self-help book for women, and I've read this twice. But as you guys know, if you're following me on Instagram, I started my reading journey with self-help books, and now I have so many, and they all teaches the same kind of thing, I guess. So I don't think I need multiple books on the same topic, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. Then this one I got in a giveaway from Pan Macmillan India, and it's The Job Crisis in India by Raghavan Jagannathan. It's a non-fiction book. Tried to read it. I'm not really interested in this subject. I really don't know. I think it was a surprise giveaway. I was not aware what book I'm gonna be winning, and then they sent me this, so never actually read it. Then another book that I won in a giveaway is Dharmendra Not Just a He-Man by Rajiv Vijayakar. Again, didn't know. I mean, it was a surprise giveaway. They just sent me this, and I'm not really interested in reading this biography right now, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. Then there is What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School by Mark H. McCormack. This book was recommended by various blog pages that I used to read back when I was in college, I guess, college first year, and they all said it's a great book, but it may be good for business students or people who are interested in business. It's just that I'm not in that phase right now, so I don't need this book right now. Then a book that I tried to read twice and DNF'd twice is The Dolphin in the Mirror by Diana Reese. It's not that bad. This book is not really bad. It's not boring or anything. It's just that maybe I'm not interested in dolphin. I read a few parts about the mythologies that mentioned dolphins and stuff like that, and they were really interesting, but other than that, I don't know. I just didn't like this book. Then I have It's Not Over by Michelangelo Signorile. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. This book is a non-fiction, I guess, and I'm not actually, it's about LGBTQ community, if I'm not wrong. It's just that I'm not interested in this topic. I'm not interested, but I'm not into this topic or subject right now, so that's why I will definitely repurchase books regarding this topic or whenever I'll be ready, just not now. Then there is Blood Print by Kitty Sewell. I got this book from Delhi's Daryaganj book market, and I've read it once, and now the suspense is revealed. I don't think I'll be rereading it, so giving away. And then here we have it. Oops. Okay. Where do we start? Here. Alright. So, I Have Learned to Slap Your Child Lest the World Slaps Him by Sunil Ved. This book was gifted to my dad actually. This and a few others that you'll be seeing in this stack from his college, I guess. It's a book about parenting. I tried to read it. Unlike the title of this book, the book doesn't promote violence, but it asks the parents to be a little strict. But I tried to read it like back when dad got this book, and I didn't finish it. I just read a few chapters, or I just skim read it. So I don't know how this book is. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I'm not interested in this topic right now, so I'm definitely giving it away. Then there is 30-Day Indian Keto Recipes by Reema Pai. This book was sent to me by Westland Publishers, and I've read it. It's just that I'm not much into dieting or healthy eating, so giving it away. Then there is The Wise Man Said by Priya Kumar. I've read this book twice. It's a good book. It's an interesting collection of short stories. It's more like inspirational fiction, but I don't think I'll read it again anytime soon. So Okay, then there is How to Walk in High Heels, A Girl's Guide to Everything by Camilla Morton. I bought this book by looking at its cover and reading the title and the summary, and it was, I liked this book when I was, what, I don't know, 21 years old. It's just that I am not going to be reading this book, and I'm not much into fashion and styling. I'm not very girly, I realized over the years. These things are interesting to read in books and watch in movies. It's just that I never implement them. Then there is The Lost Prosperity of Napoleon Hill. It's a self-help book. It's a collection of, I think, Napoleon Hill's columns that he used to write in his magazine. I bought this book from Amazon and I didn't check it back then. The last 2 chapters of this book are missing. But other than that, this book is good. I learned a few things from it. Read it, I think, 2 or 3 times. Will not be reading any more times, so I'm getting rid of it. Then there is Tarikshir The Awakening by Khayal Patel. This is my first review copy. I got it when I had only 200 followers. I was so happy back then, and I'm so grateful for the author because he kind of get me into book reviewing and stuff like that, though I don't do book reviews anymore. But yes, this book was my first review copy and I read it very, very carefully. So although it's a good book, and although it was supposed to be a book series, if I'm not wrong, the second book never came and I don't think I'll be rereading it. Then I have Finding Juliet by Toffee. It's a romance comedy and I liked it a lot. As you can see, I actually marked it. I don't know if you can see, but yes, it's marked. I loved so much after reading it, but I think I've read it 2 times. No, I won't be rereading it any more time. Then there is Racing in the Rain by Garth Steen. It was an okayish read for me despite being a bestseller. But the reason I'm giving it away is because it's a young readers edition and I'm thinking to buy the original version for some reason. I don't know. I think it would be better, maybe. We'll see. Then there is What Young India Wants by Chetan Bhagat. It's a collection of columns and essays that Chetan Bhagat used to write for certain newspapers. It was a fine read. I won't be rereading it. Then there is Snowfall by Suzanne Bailey. I actually picked this book up by looking at its cover and it turns out that it's a beautiful read too. It's just that I read it pretty recently. I think I read it this year, so I don't think I'll be reading it again soon. So am I repeating the same line again and again and again? Maybe. Okay, then we have Reflections of a Man by Mr. Amari Soul. It's a collection of, I don't know, quotes and some poems and a little bit of teachings. It was a good read. It was fine. It's just that I am not in a relationship and I've never been in a relationship. My heart was never broken, so I don't need this book right now. Maybe you will. Do let me know. Then there is Middle School Just My Rotten Luck by James Patterson. If I'm not wrong, this is the 5th book in the Middle School series and I picked it up mistakenly. I thought it's the first book, but it turns out it was the 5th. And I have no intention to read the entire series because I will die accumulating all the 10, 12, 15 books in a particular series if I'll have to, seriously. And then there is Spiritual Parenting by Gopika Kapoor. Again, another book about parenting. No, don't need it. Then there is Mary Poppins Comes Back by P.L. Travers. I'm looking for the first book in of this series from last 2 years. Couldn't find it anywhere, so getting rid of it. Then I have The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks and The Rescue by Nicholas Sparks. I wanted to read it when I bought it. Not anymore. I have other things to read. I have my textbooks to read and Then there is Develop Self-Confidence, Improve Public Speaking by Dale Carnegie. I got this book when I was into public speaking. No, I was not into public speaking, but I used to read these self-help books and I used to think maybe I should become a public speaker too. I don't know why I thought that. Then another book that I bought it for the same reason is another Dale Carnegie's The Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking. Never read it, never implemented any lesson from this book. Then I have The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. I think I'll read it before getting rid of it. It's just that I don't like this edition. I got it because, I got it because there was space left in the book box. But I'm not really happy with this cover or this edition. I'll buy the book in a better edition. So that's why I'm getting rid of it. Then another Dale Carnegie book, The Art of Public Speaking. I actually read this book. I think I read half of this book before I DNF'd it, and the reason I stopped reading it is because this book is more about practical application. It's not the kind of book that you read and you feel inspired and that's it. No, you actually have to practice every lesson that this book gives, and there are so many things going on in my life that public speaking is not something that is my priority right now. So I DNF'd it and I am getting rid of it now so that someone who actually needs it can use it. Then there is Education for Life by Swami Kriyananda. It's a non-fiction book, and I've read it. I just found this book a bit boring, or maybe I'm not again interested in this topic. Then there is Mujhe Banna Hai UPSC Topper. I got this book when I wanted to become a UPSC. I wanted to crack UPSC, a civil servant. Yes. I don't know why I thought so. Maybe I will read it. This book might have a few tips that may help me to crack my competitive exams that I'm gonna be giving soon, MPPSC and stuff like that. I don't know if it will help. Maybe it will.
Then there's this classic library girls book set. This box set has 5 classic books. Let me show you for my life. Have to get it. Seriously, it's stuck.
So the very first book is Anderson's Fairy Tales. Although it says complete and unabridged, but I have Canterbury Classics leather-bound edition, which is 750 pages long, and it has a lot more stories than this book have. Then there is Aesop's Fables. There is Daddy Longlegs, Silas Marner, and A Little Princess. I'm thinking to actually read these 3 books before I get rid of them, because just look at these covers. They are so pretty. I don't know if you can see it because of the glare, but they are really gorgeous. So I was not really in the mood to get rid of these books, but then I thought maybe I should. And now a few books that I do want to read. They are just not my priority, and one of them is The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. This book is absolutely new. Actually, I think it came laminated when I ordered it from Amazon, but I never read it, and I have no intention to read it anytime soon. Then there is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I bought it because I thought it was really popular, but when I read the blurb and I was just skim reading it, and I thought maybe it's not that great. I don't know, I just find it boring. And there is Call the Midwife by Jennifer Worth. The Ice Cream Girls by Dorothy Koomson. And Restless by William Boyd. Yes, I do want to read all these books. I don't know, but not now. And lastly, I have a few books from the Indian mythology, and it is Kalki by Kevin Misal. I have actually read this book, but I don't think I'll be reading it. Then there is The Curse of Gandhari by Aditi Banerjee. Won it in a giveaway. Then we have Kekai, The Mother of a God by Suresh Kala. I was actually at certain point into mythology. I'm not really interested in them much anymore. I am thinking to start reading the actual mythologies. I'm thinking to read Ramayana and Mahabharat, and I have these Puranas that I mean these are translations, but I've not read it, and I'm thinking to read these before I read mythological fiction. Maybe I should read the actual mythology before I read the mythological fiction. And another one is Ram, Scion of Ikshwaku. I don't know what it means, by Amish Tripathi. Amish Tripathi is a really popular author, and this book is extremely popular. But again, this book is I think a 4-book series, and there are supposed to be 5 books in this series. But I just have this first book, and that too I don't want to read anymore. So these are all the books that I am planning to get rid of, and if you are wondering what I'm gonna be doing with them, I have created this Instagram page called Bucket List Shop, where I've shared the pictures and details of these books. So kindly contact me if you want any of these books. That would help me a lot. And I'll leave the link to my Instagram account in the description box, so do check it out please. And that's it for today. If you like this video, like. If you have any query, comment. And if you haven't, then subscribe. And I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.